comparing numbers with these symbols, greater than and less than. This is a great number sense skill for children to see bigger and smaller numbers and how to organize those numbers. So, these are the symbols, greater than, less than. Those are how they look in the math world. But imagine that these symbols are actually alligator mouths. See how I added some teeth and now it looks like an alligator mouth? Think of this as a great big alligator mouth, and this alligator is very, very hungry. So when we use this alligator mouth, he wants a big, big number to go into his mouth. Okay, so let's look if we're given two numbers and we're trying to compare those numbers to see which one is bigger. The numbers we're going to look at are 3 and 5. Now there's a couple of ways that you can find which number is bigger and which number is smaller. Okay, I'm going to walk you through those. First of all, you can count. The number you get to first is going to be the smaller number. So let's count. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got to 3 first, which tells me that 5 is a bigger number. My alligator wants to eat the bigger number. So I put the symbol facing the 5. That way the 5, the bigger number, can go inside the alligator mouth. All right, let's talk about another way that I could find that 3 is less than 5. I could use manipulatives. Manipulatives are anything little that you have on hand. So I happen to have clothespins. So on the 3, I'm going to put 3 clothespins. And I'm going to pretend that those clothespins are actually cookies. Over here on the 5, I'm going to put 5 clothespins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, I'm going to pretend like those are cookies. Now look at those piles of cookies. Do you want 3 cookies or do you want 5 cookies? I definitely want 5 cookies. And guess what? So does the alligator. So once again, the alligator mouth, the greater than symbol, faces the bigger number, faces the 5. Here's another way. You can use a number line. This is a great resource to have in front of you when you're doing greater than, less than. On a number line, the very smallest number is 0, and then it gets bigger from there. So just like when you're counting, whichever number you get to first, the 3 is going to be the smaller number. Also look below my number line. I made little dots. These are kind of like the manipulatives. I can see that 3 has less dots than 5. Let's try a new set of numbers. Okay, let's try 7 and 0. If I'm an alligator, am I going to want 7 cookies? Or am I going to want 0 cookies? 7, please. So this time, my alligator mouth has to face this way because 7 is greater than 0. That's what the math sentence says. This is telling me 7 is the bigger number. My alligator wants to eat the 7. Okay? Now let's see what this looks like on paper. Let's use these same numbers. 7 and 0. If you're given these two numbers and you have to figure out which symbol to use, remember the symbols look like this. They don't actually have teeth, but you can still think of them as alligator mouths. I want to make my symbol face the bigger number. The bigger number is 7. So here's how I make that symbol. I start towards the 7, I slide towards the 0 and stop. Then I slide back towards the 7. This tells me 7 is greater than 0. Now when you're doing that, it's very important to make sure your pencil stops to get that nice point to your greater than, less than symbol. If you don't, it just ends up to look like a curve. People don't know what that means. Now if the numbers were reversed and the 0 was over here and the 7 was over here, the 7 is still the bigger number. That doesn't change. So my alligator mouth has to go the other way because he still wants those 7 cookies. So this time you start towards the bigger number, slide away from the bigger number and stop, then slide towards the bigger number. Both of these equations still tell me that 7 is the bigger number. And remember, your alligator mouth always wants to eat the bigger number.